shot real quick, Tyrese. Get a nice two shots.
Three shot. Mr. White, Steed's company. There you go.
Walk right on in and just get it.
All right, beautiful.
How you doing?
All good.
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
Good to see you, sir. So first of all, we're here at the NAACP Image Awards. What does that mean for you to be able to be here, honored amongst your peers?
Well, first off, I was a part of the pitch meeting to get the Image Awards aired on TV One. So it's great to see it on TV One for the next 5 years. And it's great to see the collection of talent and for us to be able to showcase the amazing work that so many African Americans do. And so we're looking forward to it.
When it comes to the last year, 2013, as far as Hollywood is concerned, there was a lot of significant movies where it was starring African Americans. What was your favorite film, and what about it stood out to you?
Favorite film, I would say my favorite was The Butler. Really enjoyed it. I think that because it came out earlier in the season, it got hurt towards the end. Obviously, absolutely enjoyed 12 Years a Slave as well. But there were a number of other independent films a lot of people forgot about. Winnie Mandela, Blue Caprice as well, Mr. Pete. And so there was a lot of great work that was done.
Absolutely. You know, you yourself have kind of shaped and defined journalism as African-American man on CNN. What do you feel like have been some of the challenges for you, kind of just having your voice resonate and always be relevant?
Well, for me, I spent 6 years at CNN and I always did me. I didn't change who I was. I spoke truth to power, and now having my own 5-day-a-week morning show on TV One is great because I get to talk about what I want to talk about, focus on who I want to focus on. So that to me is important. I think, you know, I've always had a very simple philosophy. If you do good, I'll talk about you. If you do bad, I'll talk about you. At the end of the day, I'll talk about you.
Speaking of doing bad, man, America right now, especially African Americans, are talking about the case in Florida with Michael Hunt. What are your thoughts on that? And as far as the value of African American young men's lives, what do you think, what needs to change?
Well, it's abundantly clear that you have folks who don't believe that a young black man's life is of value. But you also have a lot of young black men who believe this the exact same thing when you look at the black-on-black crime that exists. I do believe that Michael Dunn should be retried. I do believe the family should have some level of closure. That is critically important. And at the end of the day, justice should be served.
Two questions. First of all, you mentioned just African American men not necessarily valuing their own life. What do you feel like could be a solution to possibly spark some interest as far as their life goes?
I think what we have to do is always, when it comes to having black fathers involved in the lives of their children and making it clear that they matter. That's what's most important. We can't overlook that. We can't say that's not important. That's really what it boils down to. And so I think that when we look at young black men who believe that somehow it's a milestone to get to 25, that is something mentally that is hurtful, and what we have to do is destroy that generational curse.
And when it comes to the way that the family of the person who was killed, the way they conducted themselves on screen after the fact, it kind of speaks to this our strength. What do you feel about that?
Absolutely. You know, I've met Ron, I've met Lucy. They are a strong couple. They have really stepped up to become strong voices when it comes to gun violence. And I think that although they are still experiencing the pain of the losing of their son, they still are they still are going to represent and do all they can to ensure that another family doesn't have to experience what they experienced.